Did you know that beer is one of the oldest and most widely consumed alcoholic drinks in the world? A timeless beverage, beer's story begins in the cradle of civilization itself, the ancient land of Sumer, known today as Iraq. The Sumerians discovered the delightful effects of fermented grains quite by accident. It is believed that grains left out in the rain began to sprout, and naturally occurring yeast caused the concoction to ferment. The result? A fizzy, intoxicating brew that would change the course of history. And so, beer was born, a happy accident indeed, but beer was more than just a pleasant pastime. In ancient societies like Egypt and Rome, it played a crucial role. In Egypt, beer was a dietary staple, consumed by both adults and children. It was often included in workers' rations, with the builders of the pyramids of Giza receiving beer 3 times a day. Talk about a work-life balance. In the grandeur of Rome, beer had a different reputation. Romans, being wine enthusiasts, considered beer a barbarian's drink. Despite this, it was widely consumed in the northern provinces where grapes were hard to grow. Beer was not just a part of daily life, it was deeply entwined in the spiritual fabric of these societies. The Sumerians worshipped Ninkasi, the goddess of beer, and even penned down a hymn to her, which also served as a recipe for beer. Talk about divine inspiration. The beverage was also a form of currency. In some parts of ancient Mesopotamia, laws were laid down that fixed the price of beer, and it was often used to barter. Imagine paying your debts with a pint. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and beer had become an essential part of monastic life. Monks brewed beer within monastery walls, considering it a form of liquid bread that would sustain them during periods of fasting. So next time you sip your beer, remember you're partaking in a tradition that's thousands of years old. You're not just enjoying a drink, you're savoring a piece of history, one delightful gulp at a time. Ever wondered how your favorite drink is made? Well, it all starts with the selection of high-quality barley. This barley is then malted, a process where it's soaked in water, allowed to germinate, and then dried in a kiln. This process is vital as it breaks down the barley, releasing the sugars needed for fermentation. Next, the malted barley is ground into a coarse flour known as grist, which is then mixed with hot water in a process known as mashing. This converts any remaining starches into sugars, creating a sweet liquid called wort. The wort is then boiled with hops for seasoning. After boiling, the liquid is cooled and yeast is added, initiating the fermentation process. This is where the magic happens. The yeast consumes the sugar in the wort, producing alcohol and carbon dioxide, and voila! This gives beer its alcohol content and bubbly nature. And that's how a simple grain is transformed into the beloved beverage we know today. Beer is not just beer, it comes in a myriad of styles, each with its own character. Let's take a little journey through the beer universe. We'll start with lagers, the cool fermented brews known for their crisp, clean taste. Then we have the ales, fermented at warmer temperatures, offering a rich tapestry of flavors and aromas. Stouts, dark and creamy, are often infused with notes of coffee and chocolate, while India Pale Ales or IPAs are hoppy and robust, a true delight for those who enjoy a bitter kick. And let's not forget the ingredients that give beer its magic. Hops contribute to the bitterness and aroma, while malt provides the sweetness and color. Water, the unsung hero, carries these flavors, making up about 95% of the beer. Each ingredient, each process, shapes the character of the beer, making each style unique. With such a variety of styles and flavors, it's no wonder beer is a worldwide favorite. Scene script. Is beer good for you? Well, it's not that simple. Let's dive into the potential health benefits and risks of beer consumption. Moderate beer drinking can have a few potential benefits. It's been associated with a lower risk of kidney stones, and it's a source of dietary silicon, which is important for bone health. The alcohol in beer can also potentially improve heart health, as it can raise the levels of good cholesterol. However, like any alcoholic beverage, beer should be consumed in moderation. Heavy or binge drinking can lead to a range of health problems, including liver disease, heart problems, and an increased risk of certain cancers. Alcohol can also impact your mental health, leading to issues like depression and anxiety. So while a pint now and then might have some benefits, it's crucial to drink responsibly. Too much of a good thing can quickly turn bad. Remember, enjoyment of beer should always be balanced with responsible consumption. Now let's dive into some fun beer facts that you might not know. First up, let's talk about the strongest beer in the world. It's a Scottish creation called Snake Venom. Despite its dangerous name, it's not poisonous, but it does pack a punch with a whopping 67.5% alcohol content. Now that's a beer that requires quite a bit of respect. Moving on, let's travel to Germany, the land of beer. Every year, Munich hosts the world's largest beer festival, the Oktoberfest. This 16 to 18-day folk festival attracts millions of people from around the globe. They come to enjoy the traditional music, the delicious food, and of course the wide variety of beers. The festival is so popular that it has inspired similar events worldwide. Now, have you ever heard of the term beer belly? It's often used to refer to the abdominal fat that some people develop as a result of excessive beer consumption. But here's an interesting twist. It's not the beer itself that gives you a beer belly, it's the excess calories. Beer can be quite high in calories, and if you're not burning those off, they can accumulate around your waist. So it's not just about the beer, it's about the lifestyle. Did you know that the oldest known recipe in the world is for beer? That's right, a 4,000-year-old Sumerian tablet was found containing a recipe for a beer made from barley. It seems our ancestors had their priorities straight. And last but not least, ever wondered why beer bottles are often brown or green? It's not just for aesthetics. The colored glass actually helps protect the beer from light, which can cause it to spoil, so those colored bottles are keeping your beer fresh and tasty. And those were some fascinating facts about beer to impress your friends at the next pub quiz.